been another blow for managers at Southend Airport. The low-cost airline Ryanair says it's pulling out in November, blaming the pandemic and a big fall in passenger numbers. It comes after EasyJet cut its ties with the airport in September last year. It may be bad news for the travel industry, but people who live nearby have welcomed the news.
We're close to the taxiway and to the holding point.
Living in the shadow of Southend Airport, June's garden backs onto the runway and says life can be pretty unbearable at times.
The pollution's the worst. Comes into the house, you can taste it, it's just horrible. And I know people are going to say, oh, we love the flying and, you know, you shouldn't live near an airport and all this, but this was a small airport when we moved here 30 years ago.
Janet and John's gardens also back onto the airport. They too welcome today's news.
It's been quiet for the last year and a half, and now with losing Ryanair, hopefully the quality of air and the quality of life will be better than it was before.
Other people might be saying locally their biggest worry is that when they go, they're going to lose their job, their income, their business. What do you say to those people?
Well, I don't see why my standard of living should be sacrificed for somebody's job. I would expect them to do the same for me.
Ryanair launched its service from Southend with great fanfare just a year before the pandemic. So devastating news today, especially for those within the travel industry, but one they believe will be temporary.
I think it's a real shame, especially for an airport like Southend that serves around 8 million people within an hour's travelling distance. I think it's only a blip due to COVID.
When Ryanair finally leaves Southend Airport this winter, there will be virtually no passenger flights from here, with many suggesting that could lead to both business and job losses in the area. The airport's owners, Esken, remain fairly optimistic about their future, saying the financial closure will be mitigated by a reduction in costs associated with serving the Ryanair base and the low level of passengers expected in the winter season. It's less than a year since EasyJet also called it a day at the airport, and now some are saying it's time for the terminal to close completely.
Well, I think it's inevitable that the airport is going to close. That's the harsh reality we face with climate change.
For now, that's not on the cards, with cargo flights continuing and with restrictions set to ease. No one knows what the future holds. Thomas McGill, BBC Look East.
It's been a difficult year for